Sunday night, I did something I haven't done literally in years. I watched the entire Academy Awards. And all I can say is this.
We share the same love, the love of film, and this form of expression has given me the most extraordinary life. I don't know what I'd be without it, but I think the greatest gift that it's given me, and many of us in this room, is the opportunity to use our voice for the voiceless.
Thank you, Waukegan. You incredibly summarized exactly why no one should give any credence to anything that any of you people say or do. Because the bottom line is, as you said it, other than pretending and doing make believe, you're not qualified to do anything else. How would you earn your living? I'll bet you're even too stupid to know how to pump gas. Well, another hostless Oscar show because of the whole Kevin Hart bit, which I will say Chris Rock had a good joke about. Why are there no more hosts at the Oscars? Twitter. And we've all tweeted things that later we regret, but we're just going to hold everybody's past against them. And then, Waukegan comes out at the end of the night and says, "Thank you for giving me a second chance," and I'll get to Waukegan's little speech in just a minute. Here's what I hate. These people who live in this elitist bubble, this loony Libloonville that they're all a part of out there. And yet they're making movies about real people and real struggles and what's going on in middle class America and the Midwest. You have no idea what's going on in middle class America or in the Midwest. Just because it's a movie location to you doesn't mean you actually get it, understand it, or in any way can relate to it, and you certainly don't represent it accurately. That said, the Oscars was exactly what I expected it was going to be. Now, Brad Pitt got a political shot in early when he won his Academy Award as a supporting actor for the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which I've actually seen 5 times, and I thought Brad Pitt was great in it. I enjoyed it. And I like Brad Pitt, and I know he's got to kind of say the lib talk out there. I get it. It's part of what they do. But he said, I only get 45 seconds up here to say thank you, but that's 45 more seconds than John Bolton was given in the Senate, and maybe Quentin Tarantino can someday make a movie about it, only this time the adults in the room win. Who are the adults in the room? Adam Schiff? I'm not even going to break down what Brad Pitt said and explain why he was wrong. Just suffice to say this. If he had a basic understanding of how the government and the Constitution actually operates, he would understand, as we have explained on this program and other conservative media outlets have explained ad nauseum, it is not, quote, not the Senate's job to do that. And if Adam Schiff had really wanted to present John Bolton, he would have done so in the House. There's a reason he waited to the Senate. Oh, and then isn't it amazing that after the fact, Adam Schiff kind of let it slip that they had actually requested John Bolton to submit some information to them for the Senate process, and he refused. Maybe John Bolton didn't want to go other than to promote his book. So that's neither here nor there. Of course, we got an endless barrage at the Academy Awards of, all the great contribution of women, and they're not being recognized, and there were no women directors for Best Movie or Best Director, and finally, after 92 Oscars, we finally have a female director of the orchestra, and, can I just say something to you, Hollywood? Would you, before you get mad or troll me or shut this off, would you listen to this? That's your industry out there. It's yours. Why aren't you putting more women up there? Why aren't you making the pay equal? Why aren't you being more representative of minority? Don't lecture us about it. We're just the viewing audience that want to see if the movies that we actually bothered to get remotely interested in this year and actually spend a few bucks on, if they're going to win anything. Entertain us. Don't lecture to us. Don't preach to us. And for God's sakes, don't try to indoctrinate us on whatever your newest, latest craze, fad, lunacy is. And again, any inequality or injustice that's still going on in the movie industry and the accolades that you people give to each other, because it's nothing but actors patting other actors on the back and saying, what a great actor you are. That's your industry. So let's stick a few women up there as directors. Why are you lecturing us about it? Just do it. It's your industry. Fix it. And you haven't got to lecture us about it. We didn't tune in for that. Now, I'm going to take umbrage with something that some of you are going to have a real problem with. The best movie of the year, and I have nothing against it. I haven't seen it. Now, I saw Ford versus Ferrari. It was a really good movie. I saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, as I've alluded to. Now, though I liked Ford versus Ferrari and I liked Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, they are not what I would classify as, the best picture of the year. I saw 1917. That certainly had a shot. That was an incredible movie. I saw Harriet. I thought that was an excellent movie. In fact, that would have been the movie I would have picked. But a South Korean movie, which won, I think, won a couple first obscure Oscars. I don't know if it was sound or something, and then all of a sudden they got on a little bit of a roll, and you could see where the Academy was going. They won Best International Film. Used to be foreign language. Now we have a new name. It's Best International Movie. Then they won Best Director. And then they won Movie of the Year. And it's the very first time ever a movie has won as Best Picture of the Year that was not filmed in English. No political agenda there. Now, was that really the best movie of the year? Was that really the most inspiring, moving movie of the year? Now, I'm going to be honest. It's our award ceremony. Is it really wrong to honor our movies? I'll go ahead and answer that. No, it's not wrong. How many of our movies actually win their awards in their countries? See, Hollywood and their whole let's all be inclusive, they're back to this we are the world, it's global, everything is one world. Again, it was their quiet shot against Trump, against Make America Great, against you. See, they didn't want to be overt about it because they've learned their lesson over the past few years that when they get really overt about it, we don't go buy their movies. We don't go see their movies. We don't pay to rent their movies. And they do realize they need our cash flow in their cash registers. They need us as patrons. So they gave us the backslap without just being completely overt about it. But that said, it's an honest question. Do they honor our movies? Does an American movie win Movie of the Year in France, in South Korea, in China? I think we all know the answer to that. Now, Waukegan, in his acceptance speech, went on an absolute, almost unintelligible, just way out there in left field.
I think whether we're talking about gender inequality or racism or queer rights or indigenous rights or animal rights, we're talking about the fight against injustice. We're talking about the fight against the belief that one nation, one people, one race, one gender, or one species has the right to dominate, control, and use and exploit another with impunity.
Remember, this is the guy that at the Golden Globes thanked the Golden Globe committee that put that ceremony, and apparently there's a dinner that goes with it. It was an all-vegan menu, and that was a bold declaration. So there he just stands up there just babbling inanely, not thanking anybody that actually helped get him there. And I thought to myself as I listened to that absolute psychobabble nonsense, he just got an Academy Award for his portrayal as the Joker. And if you have seen the Joker, or even seen the trailers, it's basically a very dark movie about mental illness becoming psychotic behavior. And as I'm watching Waukegan give that speech, I'm thinking, well, no wonder they gave him an Academy Award. He wasn't really acting. He was showing us there's something seriously, seriously wrong with him.
You don't listen, do you? You just ask the same questions every week. How's your job? Are you having any negative thoughts? All I have are negative thoughts.
No joke. Now, something that might get overlooked by some of the other conservative commentators as they talk about the Oscars, a little video clip of Greta Thunberg. And they use that as the intro into giving out their documentary Academy Awards. And she said the reason she got so involved in climate change was because of the videos that she has seen, because of the documentaries that she has seen. And we have to come to grips with the fact that the reason Brad Pitt said what he said about can't believe the Senate didn't let John Bolton speak because they don't know history, because most of these people didn't really get a real education. And they get involved in activism, which means the perpetrating and perpetuating of propaganda, not actually finding out truth about things and propagating truth. They propagate propaganda. However, they've been indoctrinated by whatever cause of the week, cause of the month they're involved in. As long as they control the media, no matter what we do here, we're going to lose this next generation that gets spoon-fed by these people. They get spoon-fed on the social media platforms, on the Netflix, on the streaming services. In the movies that these people make, they are creating the reality, the truth for the generation behind us, which doesn't read, doesn't actually know history. You're wondering, how can there be a generation that is ready to embrace socialism? Because of the twisted, revisionist, historical, watered-down, skewing, and propaganda that young people get from the movies, from television. And what needs to happen, there needs to be conservatives and people of traditional values, people with a real understanding, who can also be creative. We're going to have to get in this game. And I don't mean making grade B movies that are just terrible and a bunch of no-name hogwash acting going on. It's going to have to be done right, because we're losing the narrative. And once we've lost the narrative, we will lose the hearts and minds of the next generation. Hey, that's it for this rant. Thank you so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. You know, YouTube has a way of unsubscribing you. Hey, and make sure you've smacked the bell for notification of my rants, but you got to check the word all so that you get notification of all of my rants. Otherwise, YouTube will decide which rants they'll tell you about, which ones they won't. And can you guess how many rants are going to tell you that I did? Yeah, none. So make sure you check the word all. That said, take care.